It's not every day you get to touch a piece of American military history, but last summer I was invited to a VIP event hosted by the Friends of NRA, where participants had the opportunity to shoot a military weapon that played a critical role in the Spanish-American War. On a warm June morning, a truck arrived at a sportsman's club in northern Wisconsin hauling a flatbed trailer with a very special cargo. As a handful of participants watched, Bruce Renee and Ken Olson removed a canvas cover and unveiled one of the 4 Gatling guns that helped Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders capture San Juan Hill. The gun was in nearly perfect condition more than a century after it was last used in a military operation. They got the gun off the trailer and carefully rolled it into place on the firing line. And then NRA Senior Field Representative Scott Tate welcomed us to the event.
I want to welcome everybody to this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. As most of you are aware, because of Charles and Mary, with their generosity, you will have the ability this weekend to shoot one of the 4 original Gatling guns that were in support of the Rough Riders at San Juan Hill.
Well, we were fortunate to be able to get together to shoot one of the 4 Gatling guns that were at San Juan Hill in support of the Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders, because 2 years ago, this estate of a late doctor, the collector, had agreed to donate its usage to actually shoot 1,100 rounds through it and collect them as a collectible piece of history. The family had then got a hold of me and said, let's bring it back out and let the winners of some of those pieces actually shoot the gun itself. We have people from throughout the Midwest here. What I did was, with those 100 slots, I allowed the other field representative of the central region, 3 each, to use at actually at their discretion. And most of the people are higher-end donors that we feel have earned this slot to be given the opportunity. Like Tim Bacon, the field representative from Iowa, said that he mentioned to one of his donors, he said, how many people, throughout their life can say, I actually fired the Gatling gun that was at San Juan Hill.
Ready? Yep. Grab it and go. 20 shots and he missed the bowling pin.
So what does the gun shoot?
It's 30-40 Craig, otherwise known at the time as 30 Army. It shoots a 220 grain round nose bullet. Out of the 36-inch barrels, there are 10 barrels to it. But yeah, so it's today is known as 30-40 Craig.
Okay. You brought some other guns too.
Yes. Wisconsin is what they call an open state for Class 3. So I brought a M16, a registered M16 full auto, with a DEA 9mm upper, just as they were issued back in the 80s.
What do you want our viewers to understand about what's going on here today?
There's so much history that if we didn't do things like this to keep it alive, would be lost. In fact, the majority of your viewers probably never realized there was Gatling guns in support of the Rough Riders. And even in Teddy Roosevelt, it said if it wasn't for those Gatling guns suppressing the Spanish Maxim machine guns that they had up on those hills, they may not have made to get into the base of those hills. But yeah, 4 guns put down over 18,000 rounds in less than 10 minutes to suppress the Spanish fire. And people should know about that, and especially in this case, there's some children here today, to be given the opportunity to actually shoot the firearm, that was there, the one of those 4.
So tell me about today's experience.
Well, in school we've always learned about all these guns and Gatling and Theodore Roosevelt. Well, I thought it'd be kind of cool to get up here and see it in person.
And was it?
Yeah, it was really cool.
What was it like shooting it?
Shells go by flying.
And what are you going to tell them about the Gatling gun experience?
that I gotta shoot Theodore Roosevelt's Gatling gun.
Well, Ken, I think I'm ready to shoot.
All right, good job. Turn the crank.
Support gun collecting.
So, Bruce, what can you tell me here?
We put 20 rounds on the magazine for you. They single fire down. It shoots this barrel about the 4 o'clock position. If you look down the sights, you can see where it hits. It takes 2 turns to get rid of 20 rounds. So it fires approximately 5.5, 6 rounds per turn of the crank.
All right.
If you roll, just keep rolling, okay?
Okay. Here we go.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Thank you. That was 20, huh? That was 20.
That was 20 rounds.
That went fast, but a lot of fun. During the event, we also had a chance to talk with the son of the late doctor who acquired the Gatling gun and kept it in good condition. Well, Charles, tell me about the history of this gun.
Well, my father acquired this gun in the late 60s from a gentleman that was a very important and high-ranking researcher and military officer at the Aberdeen Proving Ground. And this gun is serial number 1041, and this is a model 1895. And this gun was at San Juan Hill in Cuba, and then supposedly it traveled to the Philippines, and of course it came back to this country. And the gentleman that I mentioned earlier, he acquired this gun in 1946, and of course it was on a tripod, and he traded the tripod for the proper carriage that was for the 1895. It's a War of Elite carriage with Archibald wheels, and of course, even though it's not here, there's a limber for it that of course came off of the old Bannerman Island. And this gun was used in some of the research and development of the automatic cannons or Vigilante and Vulcan system that goes into the A-10. And the gun was, like most of the soldiers that went to Cuba, was staged in Tampa. And then, of course, they took this to Havana Harbor. And, of course, this gun went up San Juan Hill with Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders. And this was Lieutenant Parker's, one of Lieutenant Parker's guns. It made American history.
I understand it's the first time that this type of gun was used offensively.
That is correct. This is the first time in history that a multi-fire weapon system was used in an offensive action. So it was the precursor to all of the automatic firearms that would come in the First and Second World War.
And I understand it was decisive in winning that battle.
That is correct, because this, of course, provided tremendous cover fire. This is just a really important part of our family, and a really important part of our family just loving the country and our history, and of course, neat, beautiful pieces of mechanical art.
I think so.
This is cool.
All right.
It's very awesome. You ready?
Anytime you are.
Okay.
Just keep going until we tell you to stop. Keep going. Push hard.
That is very cool. Thank you.
Perfect. Did you
very
count
good.
those?
Huh?
Did you count them?
I didn't count them. I didn't.
What'd you think?
I think it's neat. It's an awesome experience. This is great. I'm a vet, and I have not shot anything like this at all. So
Not many
it's great.
people have.
Where did you serve?
I was in Iraq for a year, 2006, 2007, and the rest of the time in Texas, Arizona area. So it's neat. Thank you very much for coming out here and putting this on. It's great.
Thank you, and thanks for your service.
You bet. Proud to do it. Thank you.